All right, so last week we looked at sinners in the hands of an angry God. And we kind of went through it very, very quickly, at least had a couple of things on it. But it was basically a sermon, and the guy was using some massive figures of speech in order to convince people to convert or at least to become better Christians. So we're not looking at this as a religious point of view. We're really looking at it because of the figures of speech. He used the figures of speech to, well, wait a minute, how do people, what's the best way to influence somebody to get them to do what you want them to do? Fear, right? So sometimes it's, like what's that saying about the sweetness and bees, and if you want somebody to do something, you spread a little honey, and it does that too. Well, a lot of people believe that fear is the best motivator. So, there's a lot of documentation that supports that. Unfortunately, that creates a lot of unhappiness. So that's something to think about too. I like the kind of the lesser approach, but then there's that sometimes you have to know when to throw fear into the equation as far as persuasion. Jonathan Edwards does a pretty good job at giving us figures and giving us images and things that we're not familiar with. I asked last week, I think, and I know you guys weren't here, how many people have actually been to hell? Nobody raised their hand. You have not been to hell. If you are physically here right now, you have not been to hell unless you've been to hell, Norway, or I think there's a hell in, is it Wisconsin? No. It's either Maine or something like that. There is a hell, Norway. So I definitely know that. But it's just different than what he was talking about. So how do you know that the eye on the stove is hot? Someone tells you it's hot, and you go, oh, it's hot. Well, you don't really know until you actually put your hand on it, and there's a lot of kids who put their hand on it anyway. I did that. So I did that. I was soldering and had the soldering iron drip things on my hand, and I was like, oh. That was a couple weeks ago. All right, so that's off the subject. All right, so what we're going to do today, we're going to go back to that sinners in the hands of an angry God, but we're going to do something different to it. I'm going to introduce a new thing to you, and I'm going to try to do it in an easy way, but we're going to do it with figures of speech, and we're going to do it with, anyway, you'll see. So I'm going to do changing times. And I'm going to share this with you. All right. And does anybody recognize those two things that they're on the left picture? Twin Towers. World Trade Center Twin Towers, right? So what's significant about the Twin Towers? Yeah, they were destroyed, terrorist attack or something like that, right? So anyway, I wrote this here. 2020 was at the very least an interesting year. Do you agree? 2020 was an interesting year. We went home March the 13th, not to come back to school until the fall. And then even then, it became difficult. There we go. I'm blowing it up. All right. Things have changed. Today, as I write this, I'm remembering the events of September 11th, 2001. I wrote this actually last fall. I remember that day as if it were yesterday. The incident of that day had an impact on America. It changed perceptions, it changed attitudes, and it changed our lives. So there is a D on it. And it changed, I need to put a D on that. That's terrible. Terrible grammar. All right. So it really did. So our attitudes about certain people, our attitudes about our safety, our perceptions about things, it all changed. And events do change us. They really do change us. And anyway, there have been many events throughout American history, past and present, that has brought about change. Today, I'm asking you to list 5. You're going to choose 5 events that you feel have had a significant impact on American lives. Once you create that list, and you're going to do it on Canva, and I'm going to introduce you to Canva in just a second, or Google Slides, because if you want to do the boring way, like the PowerPoint, whatever, you can do Google Slides. That might be what you're comfortable with. But I'm going to show you Canva, and I want you to stay with me on it. For each of those 5 events, you're going to create a slide or a little presentation. And then you're going to explain how or why it has changed America. Did it change the way we live? What did the event caused, what was its impact, and use pictures and captions to help explain. You can actually use music and video with Canva, which is really cool because someone had some people marching and stuff. Yep, you already clicked on it. So anyway, I'm going to click on it and show you what Canva is real quick. Does it link you to my class? I'm hoping it does.
You've been invited to join Canva, which is you.
Yep. But I'm hoping it's going to be the right class. And I think either way, it doesn't matter because I do have a class set up in Canva, but whatever link that you're going to do, you're going to put it into here. Like I know that I have a Whitfield's Honor class, but I don't know if my link actually took you to the right class. So, but don't worry about that if it doesn't. I just want you working in Canva. All right. So what does it do? All right. So I'm going to go to all my designs, and you can create more. All right, so this is not all my designs, but I guess it kind of is. You know, remember last week or a couple weeks ago we did Ann Bradstreet, and so I was able to put together this in a class that I took where I discovered this, and he said, well, how would you use it? And I saw these little caption balloons like you would use in cartoons, and I thought, well, that's pretty interesting. And if I can get everybody in on this, and I can say, all right, what were Ann Bradstreet's influences? Well, Bible, God, married at 16. She was only 18 when she came to the world. I mean, so different people can put different things in. And I thought, okay, that's going to be boring for about, it'd be great for about 2 seconds, and the rest of it's going to be boring. And, all right, so how else can I use it? Well, I'm selecting to use it right now as something different and something where we can do a presentation. So if you click on presentation, you can create your own presentation. And I'm going to do this one figures of speech real quick, 9/11. This is not mine. I'm not going to take credit for it because it's another student from last week, and we just kind of did it. But this person used, I'm hoping they used animation and stuff. But if I present it, they used pictures. They did the terrorist attacks of 9/11 completely changed American security. Oh yeah, this one. Please capitalize American. Please capitalize the things that were. I shouldn't use that one. Anyway, so I want you to see this too. If I can put text, I'm just going to go to the bottom and add a page, and then it's just blank. There we go. So like I can add any type of text that I want to. I can add a heading. I can make it sparkle just by putting it in there and sparkle. So anyway. If you want it to do things like that, not that you would want to, you can change it or put in huge sale. You can change the lettering. I mean, this is huge, small, because I know that's not small. But you can also use audio, and there's a selection of free audio things. So I'll put this in here real quick, and I'll take it off and let you hear it. Okay, so but if you look on the side, there's just tons and tons of things, and I think you can do some editing with the sound, but that's not necessarily what excited me, and I don't know why that blew up just like that. I'm sorry about that. You can include videos, and like I'm going to put a video right there on the thing. You can choose one. For instance, we were looking at things that impacted America, right? So. Twin Towers. And I just grabbed one. It's not exactly the one that was doing, and should be able to play it. There it goes. I don't know what's it keep. I don't even realize what it's doing. Let me get rid of that. Rid of this. So I can't find World Trade Center. Maybe I need to put that. So World Trade Center. Okay, there we go. And that's going to actually be a moving picture that you can include in that, which is really cool. I mean, because it's not your basic presentation. Wouldn't you agree? And it's like sitting on a boat, and so that's building of. That's an old picture actually, or is that the building of the new one? I think it's building the old one. So, all right. So then you can also change backgrounds if you need to. Landscapes could also be moving. Delete. So it's just a ton of stuff in there, and you'd have to be able to really see it. You can upload your own photos. One of the things I got excited about, you can actually do a film of yourself and upload it to your presentation. Not that you would do it on this one, but down the road, that might not be a bad idea. So let's see. So it's just tons of different things that you can do with this. I know that you're not real excited about it, and I'm sorry about that, but if I was to present that right there, present. This is what it would look like on screen. And crickets. There we go. Stop. Okay. Sorry about that. So there was actually an animation type thing too, but you have plenty of effects. Background remover, you can remove backgrounds and different things. So that's what you'll be working with today. And I know that's it's kind of a quick overview of it. It's new to me. I know it's probably new to you, but I do want us to experiment with it. And you're experimenting with it in the assignment. No, not that one. Changing times. Okay. So that's what I would like you to do. So I'm going to stop that video and let you start working on that. But before you go,